Hello, world. I'm Dr. Helen, founder and CEO. That would be Chief Engagement Officer of Dr. Helen Holton and Associates, and your host for Dr. Helen Speaks, Strengths, Resilience, and Leadership. Welcome to today's show. As a strengths, resilience, and leadership coach, I stand in the gap for women leaders like you who want more for your life and your leadership. Our goal is to motivate, inspire, and move you forward in pursuit of your goals, dreams, and desires. You know, your greatest you is at the gateway to your gold goddess status. It glows brightly within you, ready to shine even brighter in the world. So, queens and some kings, claim your power. We like when men show up here too, but I'm speaking to you queens. To claim your power and lead like only you can. And I hope you know if you're here, we do lead differently. So each week, we explore topics to discover, uncover, and unpack ways for you to leverage your strengths, the best of who you are, manage your weaknesses. We all have them. Let's just be honest, we all have them. And build your resilience, the power and perseverance to push you through those storms that life brings our way. With an innovative, heart-centered system and proven results, we help you achieve more success with less stress and, by the way, deeper fulfillment in life. The cherry on the top, you know. So what does success look like? Well, number one, it looks like an increase in your performance, your productivity, and your prosperity potential. You know, that bottom line, the profits. At the end of the day, even in a nonprofit, that bottom line matters, and someone's always watching to see its improvement. So the bottom line, moving you closer to your goals or achievement of what you really want for your life, is what we stand in the gap for you. Now, if this resonates with you, I want you to give a shout out or a high five. Yeah. Yes, I'm old school. I'm dating myself and I love it. I'm glad to be in this space and place. So as your show host, coach, and convener of leaders, we'll talk about how you can optimize your leadership. Do you have the opportunity to do what you do best every day? I want you to really let that sink in and think about that. Do you have the opportunity to do what you do best every day? I do, and I love it. And we show up here because we want that for you too. Here's what we've learned. At the heart of what you want, deep at your heart, lives a heightened sense of your ability to deepen your engagement. First of all, with yourself, because it has to begin with you in order for you to have that show up when you're with others. It's one of the most effective ways to upshift your success faster and with more meaning and depth to it. It's your personal, unique path to be seen, heard, and impactful. Isn't that what you want? To leave that legacy, to have an impact or influence on other people that are listening to the knowledge and wisdom that only you can bring through your gifts, your passions and pursuits. So this sense of belonging lives within you, within each of us. Our goal is to help you bring your best to the world. This is where we support and guide you to connect and engage deeper with who you are at your best, at the core that lives inside of you. So this is what I know. At some stage along your life's journey, have you learned something? Given up? Grown up some? have you failed? Oh, let me rephrase that. Have you failed forward? And there is a difference in failing and failing forward. What it feels like, what's it feel like when you just have to start over? You know, scrap everything from the past and say, no, I want a different reality for my life. I'm willing to start over, start fresh. And that may be the best choice for you. No one knows that better than you. But what I do know is this: when you know you better, bringing forth the best of who you are, all of these things really bubble up to the top and help you to decide and chart the course for the life you really want to live. So the truth of what you want has the best chance of success when you stay focused and committed to what you want. And I mean what you really want. So what motivates you to keep going? That's like the $1 million question today. What is that motivating factor that gets you moving into what you want? Well, according to the Atlas of Public Management, they identify 3 components of motivation. Number 1, there's activation, your decision to act, to initiate something that you want, something that, you know, is true for you, that you really, really want. Activation. Number 2, persistence. Persistence, the effort, the continued effort to follow through, even when the distractions and detours show up at your door. Persistence, you know, like perseverance. You just keep pushing because you know there's better on the other side of where you're going. And number 3, intensity. That's the degree of energy or focus and concentration you put forth to what you want. These are things that only you can do to keep you on that path to get what you say you want. So think about it. This is according to the Atlas of Public Management, but it makes really good sense. Number 1, activation. You got to make a decision to act. No one else can do that for you. People can tell you this is what you have to do, but be clear. If it's not what you want, you're fulfilling the wishes of someone else's agenda. Number 2, persistence. That is the effort that you put into it. You can gauge that better than anyone else. And working with a coach can help hold you accountable and to cut away the BS that we all sometimes put out there, thinking that we're doing what it is we want to do. And number 3, the intensity, the degree of focus, concentration, and commitment you put forward. What will your life be like if you wake up one day with regret over celebration? We don't want that for you. We don't. It's why we show up, to help you live your truth, your passions, your dreams. If you haven't gotten going with them, guess what? You got time. Start today. Huh. What better time than today? This is one thing we all know. Tomorrow's not promised to any one of us. And we often share here, you hear me say it week after week after week, delayed does not mean denied. It's never too late, as long as you have breath in your body and are willing to go after what you want. Do it. Our purpose and goal is to support you on your path to live your best life ever. We're here to motivate you and move you forward toward your goals on your terms. How about that? I know it might sound really easy, but it's not. But you know what? We'll walk that walk with you to keep you focused and going forward. Dr. Helen Speaks is here live on the Win-Win Women Network, Win-Win Women TV network, every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Pacific time and 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. And wherever I am in the world, who knows? I've got to figure out the calculations for what time it is in the present zone. However, you can also catch our show on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. So I invite you to also follow Dr. Helen Holton on LinkedIn and join our private Facebook group, Strengths, Resilience, and Leadership, to keep up with what's happening with Dr. Helen Speaks. We're going to be right there for you. So we all know there's not a new thing under the sun. What is new is our knowledge, perspective, and actions we take through a more informed lens, shaped by the wisdom of lessons learned, lived experiences, and earned expertise from leaders just like you. That's right. All of us, all those great leaders out here they weren't born leaders. Well, maybe, no, they weren't born leaders. They may have been born into wealth or aristocracy or positioning, but they're not born leaders. They have the potential to be, but not born. So leaders just like you, we want you here. We're here to ignite your spark and fuel your flame to think, be, and do. Use that TBD. It's not for to be determined. It's to remind you, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to be it, which is going to enable me to do what I say I want for my life, to be more of who you really are and show up that way. It's our opportunity to pay it forward through you. So we at Dr. Helen Speaks are grateful to Paula Fellingham. Paula is the founder, visionary leader, and dream weaver of the Win-Win Women Network, and is part of a global community created by women for women, and we always welcome men to join us. They can learn a thing or two as well, as they share on the show. So that's great, thank you. But together we have the opportunity to learn and grow, to share, motivate, and inspire your success, each other's success as leaders. So thank you for being a part of our community. Now, before we take a deeper dive, I want you to grab your note-taking device, whether it's pen and paper, tablet, computer, whatever you use, the back of an envelope. I've done it, trust me. We want you to capture the notable nuggets of wisdom, insight, and aha moments that will empower you to think, do, and be more. We don't want you to miss anything. And just in case you do, you can always catch the replay either here on the WinWinWomen.tv network or from one of our other outlets. Put this show on your calendar as a weekly meeting and share it with your friends and colleagues. Let's make our circle bigger. There's a lot of work we have out here to do in the world, showing up as our best selves. You guys ready to go? Oh, excuse me, we're not guys. You ladies and gentlemen, ready to go? Great. Me too, let's do it. So our topic today, still holding to our theme, and this is the last episode of this overarching theme we've had, known as Mothers, Memories, and Motivation. Today, we're going to talk about memories, memorials, and monuments as motivation. Yeah, you guys, you women, friends, colleagues, co-laborers in the vineyard, you all inspire me and push me to do more and come up with ways to really go deep into what I know and I'm working to get out, just like you are. So the image for today's show, the images, was a memory that, Amazon photos or whatever, every now and then they pop these things up to show me about what I was doing years in the past. And I actually love it because it's been such a wonderful reminder when I think about what it means to be motivated. Yeah, it's hitting the nail on the head. It's motivating me. So those images are from August 13th or 20th or August 2013. I do remember that much. And I traveled with a group of civil rights advocates to Washington, D.C., to the mall on Washington in front of the Lincoln Memorial, a monument, by the way, that's been in position for 100 years and counting now. Well, we went to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington. Yeah, because it took place at that very spot more than 50 years ago. And what it meant to be there. I wasn't of age to have been there when the actual march took place, but to be there in that place with people who had been there 50 years ago, just the excitement. And, we went by train, and when we got to the train station, we ran into some friends, and I'd learned something I didn't know about them. They were actually there in the nation's capital 50 years ago, when there were hundreds of thousands of people out there, or at least the pictures give you that image. I don't think I've seen them all that crowded since the inaugural of our 44th president, President Barack Hussein Obama. It reminded me of that. Anyway, there were these three women, and one of the travelers had the very button that she received in that very place 50 years ago. And so when you see those pictures, these are those artifacts, those memorials. It was the first time I had the chance to see the monument to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Oh, I just can't. Even now, just to say it, I'm getting goosebumps on my arms and remembering what it was to be in that place and space where there are those who came and made a mark, and those monuments remind us. It resonated with me to this very day, and it keeps me motivated on my journey. So here's a question I want you to think about. When you feel weary along your journey, the journey of your calling, your purpose and pursuits in this life, what do you turn to for your motivation? Is there some photo that you can look at, or some memorial, a monument? I think about the first time I visited the National African American Museum in the nation's capital, and to see some of the things in there, or the National Civil Rights Museum. These are those vestiges that if we weren't around when they came, we have the opportunity to understand. And in understanding others, bingo, it helps us to better understand ourselves by the motives, values, and things within us that we know to be true for us, that are all shaped by the experiences and influences we have in this life, by some of the very people that we encounter, the experiences that we hold, the conscious and unconscious biases that we live with. We all have a chance to grow beyond those things that separate us. This is our opportunity. When we're motivated, we should be motivated in a way, or let me stop. I don't know about you, but I'm more motivated to build bridges and break down barriers, because what I know is that there's more that unites us than divides us. And in the dialogue, in the communication, in the experience with another, we have the opportunity to do that. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the ways that can happen. But in the meantime, keep in your mind as we're, going through today, what are the memories, the memorials, and the monuments that move you to take action, to press forward against the grain? So researching this whole piece about motivation, and it always makes me think about neuroscience and brain and how the brain works, but also, who are we? I always say, when you know who you are through the best of who you are, you're in a position to be a better leader, a stronger leader, a more impactful leader, focused on building bridges and breaking down barriers. Yes, this is real and it matters. And so I came across some research by a Professor Stephen Rice, or Rees, R-E-I-S-S. who's also the creator of the RMP. And you all know how I am about assessments. I just love them, especially when they help to reveal more of who we are. And, the assessment. Yes, I have this obsession with the assessment tools. And I look at them to find, do they glean a new perspective on who I know myself to be? Which is something you might ask yourself. If you want to know more, reach out. I'm always here. But let me get back to Professor Reese, who's the creator of the RMP, or the Reese Motivational Profile. And in his book, Who Am I?, he identifies 16 basic desires that motivate our actions and define our personalities. Well, he has 16, Gallup has 34, Myers-Briggs has a combination of there's 16 that can be reconfigured in different ways. I never did the math. I probably have it somewhere. I know I did. I talked about it in an earlier episode. Anyway, they all have different things. And what I've learned, DISC and the 4 main ways of identifying yourself, but they each have a different spin. And, looking at those. And so, I'm really biased towards those that are validated and reliable and proved to be more inclusive than exclusive in an objective manner, drawing out the best of who we are and bringing us an awareness of those areas when we aren't at our best. Because as I said, we all have weaknesses, and the sooner we get to learn and understand what they are, we're in better position to know how to confront them and not allow them to dominate our intentions and goodwill to make a positive difference and impact in our world. So what I found interesting, there was a consultant, a researcher that did some work with his profile. And when they looked at the results, and these were women in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And of those 16 personality traits, I want to lift up 5 of them, 4 of them that really contribute to women in leadership. And I would say this probably extends to women in general, because we are in all sorts of walks of life as leaders. And so those 4 of the 16 were, number 1, power. Power measured based upon how achievement oriented we are. So think about, as a leader, where does achievement arrive? That you're looking to accomplish something, set your mark on, yes, that unique thing that you can bring to the world, achievement. And it matters to women leaders, maybe leaders in general, but we're going to focus on the women leaders right now. Status, number 2. Now, status is that desire for respect based on social standing. So it may be that you're working to acquire wealth to have a different social standing, because sometimes these things matter to people. And in terms of them being seen as the leader that they are. But that's a personal place. It's not the same for all of us. It could be just knowing that you're showing up in a professional way that helps people to understand you're about your business. Number 3, curiosity. Now, curiosity is the desire for understanding. And I always say, I love being a coach because coming with an air of curiosity to really know, what is it that you're after? Tell me more. Let's unpack that. Oh my goodness. I love helping people go deeper into themselves. And the joy when they touch those places of wisdom and knowledge and power. Yeah, curiosity brings that about. Now, they named the 3, but they gave what I would call honorable mention to idealism. Wow, when I heard that idealism, which is focused on the desire for social justice, for inclusion, equity, oh my goodness, can I just tell you, what was the thought? Build bridges, break down barriers. That's right, because at the end of the day, we all want to feel and experience that sense that we belong. That's how we're created. You know, I know that the God I serve created us as relational beings. And yes, I'm a God girl. It creeps in. I can't keep it out. It's just who I am. It's what brings joy to my life and helps me do the work that I do, that helps me to know where my alignment lies. Now, interestingly enough, acceptance is one of those 16 personality traits. And you might think acceptance. Yeah, okay, if I want power, status, yes, I want acceptance. Can I just tell you, in this group that they did this research study around, acceptance was one of the lowest rankings for women. So that's just something to contemplate. We won't go any further with that. But when we look at those that drive women leaders, power that's driven by, measured by achievements, not achievements of plaques to hang on the walls, but achievements to move into the work of your purpose and passion, and to know that you're making a difference by the lives that you are empowering to be better, to be more of what they can do as positive contributors to our planet. Yes, power. That kind of power is good, healthy power. And then there's status. Okay, yes, I've reached a certain level. And when my peers look upon me, maybe I want that status as the CEO or the founder of a thriving company or the executive or the teacher, or teacher of the year, whatever that is for you. It speaks to your abilities as a leader. And curiosity. You know, curiosity really is a powerful resource when you're looking to foster environments of belonging and inclusion. Be curious about the people that are different from you, different backgrounds, different heritage, different ethnicities, different races, different orientations, whatever. Be curious. We all stand to learn something. So what do you really want for your life? Your motivation and your legacy are tied to, number one, your desires. Number two, your purpose. What are you here for? What mark do you want to leave in this world? That is the conscious part or action on your behalf of building your legacy. All right, ladies, this is just for you. I just don't see men doing it the way we do, but I have to put this out here for you. Your sauciness. Yes, yes, yes. We all got a little sauciness. Know what I'm talking about? It's that irrepressible spirit that lives within you, that part of you which makes you unstoppable. Yeah. The things that matter most to you are the things that get your attention most. They represent the unique imprint on the planet that only you can do. It's that unique DNA we all have. It's the influence you have on another person. Think about the people who recognize and appreciate you and have the courage to tell you the positive difference or impact you've made in their life. I want you to take that in for a minute. Take that in. The people who affirm what you do and how you positively impact their life. That's power. That's influence. That's leadership. And it's a part of your legacy. You want to capture those moments, the energy that it fills you with, the joy to know that you are making a difference. It's your legacy in motion, and it begins with you in your purpose, passion, and pursuit. So today's call to action is this. What memories, memorials, or monuments motivate you to be a leader? What memories, memorials, and/or monuments motivate you to be a leader? Do you have the chance to do what you do best every day? If you do, that's great. It's something we share in common. If you've picked up a few nuggets to stretch you to grow even more, then take action on something you heard today. then do it. TBD, think be do. And if you want more support, reach out to me and let's talk about it. Wherever you are on your path to success is exactly where you're supposed to be. And at Dr. Helen Holton and Associates, we work with leaders using a heart-centered approach to help you optimize your strengths for more success, less stress, and greater fulfillment in life. So keep going back. We'll be here and join the community of Dr. Helen Speaks, Strengths, Resilience, and Leadership here on the Win-Win Women TV network. Until next time, we'll see you. Stay tuned and stay with us because we'll be right here.